Hey, everybody! Y'all know how much I love bringing the outdoors inside? There's just something so peaceful and inviting about having natural elements in your home. It's like bringing a little bit of the outdoors in, you know? And the best part is, you don't need a big budget or fancy materials to create something beautiful. Today we're going to be working on some simple DIY projects that are all about celebrating the beauty of nature. We're talking pressed flower art, a rustic branch wall hanging, and charming little mini terrariums. These projects are all about slowing down, appreciating the little things, and adding a touch of handmade charm to your home. So grab your favorite drink, put on some comfy clothes, and let's get creating. Alright, let's start with something really special, pressed flower art. There's just something magical about capturing a moment in time, preserving the colors and shapes of your favorite blooms so you can enjoy them long after the season has passed. This is one of my favorite ways to preserve those sweet memories of springtime walks and summer blooms. Each pressed flower becomes a tiny time capsule, holding on to the beauty and nostalgia of days spent outdoors. First things first, you're going to want to gather your flowers. Take a stroll through your garden, a local park, or even along the roadside. Nature is full of treasures just waiting to be discovered. And the beauty of this project is that you don't need a whole bouquet. Just a few stems, maybe even just a single bloom is all it takes. Sometimes, the simplest arrangements are the most meaningful. Look for smaller, flatter flowers as they tend to press the best. Think delicate petals, tiny wildflowers, those sorts of things. Avoid thick or bulky flowers, as they can be tricky to press and may not dry evenly. Now once you've got your flowers, you're going to gently press them. I like to use a big, heavy book for this. An old dictionary or encyclopedia works wonders. The weight helps flatten the flowers and ensures they dry out nicely. Just lay a piece of parchment paper down on a page, arrange your flowers on top, and then top them with another sheet of parchment paper. This keeps the moisture from damaging your book and helps the flowers keep their color. Close the book carefully, making sure those flowers are nice and snug between the pages. Then, stack a few more heavy books on top, just to add a little extra weight. The more pressure, the better the press. Now comes the hard part, waiting. You'll want to let those flowers dry and press for at least 5 to 7 days. Trust me, the anticipation is worth it. If you're patient, you'll be rewarded with perfectly preserved petals. While you're waiting, you can start thinking about how you want to display your pressed beauties. I love using simple glass floating frames. They have such a clean, modern look and really let the flowers shine. But you could also use vintage frames, shadow boxes, or even just create a collage in a simple picture frame. There are so many creative ways to showcase your pressed flowers, so let your imagination run wild. Once your flowers are dry and ready to go, carefully lift them from the parchment paper. They'll be delicate, so handle them with care. Sometimes I use tweezers to help with the tiniest petals. Now comes the fun part, arranging. Play around with different compositions, layering petals, and creating your own little work of art. You can even add leaves, ferns, or handwritten notes for a personal touch. If you want to secure your flowers in place, a tiny dot of clear drying craft glue will do the trick. Just be careful not to use too much, as you don't want it to seep through the petals. A pair of tweezers can help you position everything just right. And there you have it, a beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece of pressed flower art that captures the fleeting beauty of nature. Hang it on your wall, display it on a shelf, or give it as a heartfelt gift to someone special. Every time you look at it, you'll be reminded of those sweet summer days and the simple joys of gathering flowers, one petal at a time. Alright, for our next project, we're going to bring in some rustic charm with a DIY branch wall hanging. This is a wonderful way to blend the outdoors with your indoor space. And it's a project that's both creative and relaxing to make. This is such a fun way to add a touch of nature to your walls, and it's surprisingly easy to make. Plus, it's a great opportunity to get a little crafty and personalize your space with something truly unique. First things first, you're going to need to find the perfect branch. Now, I know this might sound a little funny, but trust me on this one. The branch is the star of the show. So take your time with this step. Take a walk in your neighborhood, explore a local park, or even just peek around your backyard. It's a great excuse to get outside, breathe in some fresh air, and maybe even discover a new favorite spot. Look for a branch that's fallen naturally. You don't want to harm any trees in the process. The perfect branch will be sturdy, relatively straight, and have a nice, smooth texture. Try to avoid branches that are too brittle or have a lot of cracks, as they might not hold up well over time. Don't be afraid to get a little choosy. This is the foundation of your wall hanging after all. Once you've found your branch, give it a good clean with a damp cloth, just to remove any dirt or debris. If there's any bark that's loose or flaking, you can gently peel it off for a cleaner look. If you want a super smooth finish, you can lightly sand it down as well. This step is optional, but it really helps bring out the natural beauty of the wood. Now it's time to add some hanging power. I like to use macrame cord for this, as it has such a lovely bohemian vibe. But you could also use yarn, twine, or even strips of fabric. Choose a material that matches your style and the look you want for your space. Cut a length of cord that's about twice as long as you want your hanging to be. Fold it in half, and then loop it over the top of your branch. Bring the ends of the cord through the loop and pull tight to create a lark's head knot. This knot is simple but strong, and it looks great. Repeat this process, spacing your knots evenly along the branch. You can play with the spacing and the number of cords to create different looks. Go for a minimalist style or fill the branch with lots of hanging elements. Now comes the fun part, adding some personality. You can leave your wall hanging simple and chic, or you can get creative with beads, feathers, or even small charms. Thread them onto the cord before you tie your knots, or simply tie them on afterward. You could even add dried flowers or little trinkets that have special meaning to you. I love the look of wooden beads and natural feathers. They add such a beautiful earthy touch. But really, the possibilities are endless. Let your creativity run wild. You can mix and match materials, play with colors, or keep it all neutral for a more subtle effect. Once you're happy with your design, find the perfect spot to hang your new creation. I love hanging these above beds, over mantles, or even in a cozy reading nook. They also make wonderful gifts for friends and family who appreciate handmade decor. The natural texture of the branch and the gentle sway of the hanging elements create such a calming, peaceful vibe. It's like bringing a little piece of the forest right into your home. Every time you see it, you'll be reminded of the beauty of nature and the joy of making something with your own hands. And for our final project today, we're diving into the wonderful world of mini terrariums and jar gardens. These tiny, self-contained gardens are not only beautiful to look at, but they're also a fantastic way to bring a bit of nature indoors, no matter how much space you have. These little ecosystems are so much fun to create, and they add a touch of life and greenery to any space. Whether you live in a tiny apartment or a spacious house, a mini terrarium can fit right in and instantly brighten up your surroundings. First things first, you're going to need some containers. The best part is, you probably already have something perfect at home. I love using recycled glass jars for this, mason jars, old candle jars, even pretty glass containers from the thrift store. Repurposing these jars not only saves money, but it's also a great way to be eco-friendly and creative at the same time. Just make sure they're clean and dry before you start planting. Now let's talk layers, because the secret to a healthy terrarium is all in the foundation. A good terrarium needs proper drainage, so start by adding a layer of pebbles or small rocks to the bottom of your jar. This step is crucial, especially since there are no drainage holes in most glass containers. This will prevent the roots of your plants from sitting in water, which can quickly lead to root rot and unhappy plants. Next, add a layer of activated charcoal. This is a step that's often overlooked, but it makes a big difference. This might sound a little strange, but trust me on this one. The charcoal acts as a natural filter, keeping your mini ecosystem fresh. Activated charcoal helps to filter the air and prevent any funky smells from developing in your terrarium. It also helps absorb excess moisture, which is especially important in closed containers. Now it's time for the fun part, the soil. This is where your plants will really thrive, so don't skimp on quality. You'll want to use a well-draining potting mix that's specifically designed for succulents or cacti. These mixes usually contain sand or perlite to help with drainage. These plants prefer a drier environment, so regular potting soil won't cut it. Using the right soil will help prevent overwatering and keep your plants healthy. Fill your jar about halfway with soil, leaving enough room for your plants. You can always add more soil later if needed. Now it's time to get planting. This is where you can really let your creativity shine. I love using a mix of succulents, air plants, and even small ferns in my terrariums. Each plant brings its own unique texture and color to the arrangement. Gently remove your plants from their pots, loosen the roots a bit, and then nestle them into the soil. Try to arrange them so each plant has enough space to grow. Once you're happy with the arrangement, add a top layer of decorative stones, pebbles, or even moss. This is your chance to add a personal touch. This not only looks pretty, but it also helps to hold moisture in the soil. Moss, in particular, can help create a lush forest-like feel. And there you have it, your very own mini terrarium. Each one is unique, and you'll find yourself wanting to make more. Place it in a bright spot, but out of direct sunlight and water sparingly. Too much water is the most common mistake, so remember, less is more. These little ecosystems are surprisingly low maintenance, and they'll thrive with just a little bit of love and attention. Check on them every week or so and enjoy watching them grow. And the best part is, you can get creative with your decorations. The possibilities are endless. Add small figurines, crystals, or even miniature fairy lights to create your own whimsical little world. You can even theme your terrarium for different seasons or holidays. Every time you glance at your terrarium, you'll be transported to a place of peace and tranquility. It's a tiny escape right there on your shelf, reminding you to slow down and appreciate the beauty of nature, no matter where you are. Isn't it amazing how a few simple elements from nature can transform your home? These DIY projects are more than just decorations. They're reminders of the beauty that surrounds us, even in the simplest of things. Whether it's a pressed petal, a branch you found on a walk, or a jar of living green, decorating with nature grounds us. It reminds us to slow down, to appreciate the little things, and to find joy in the everyday. So go ahead, bring a little bit of the outdoors in. Create something beautiful, something meaningful, something that makes your heart happy. Because home is more than just a place. It's a feeling,